fine? What we discussed in the previous class, it is about the microscope and its parts. We already observed how to prepare an observation slide. Today we are going to study about the famous scientists and their contributions to the field of cell biology, and also about the structure of plant cell and cell organelles and their functions. Let's start our class.
Do you know who is the famous person? He was the first scientist who observed cells with the help of a simple microscope. He observed the section of a cork through a microscope and called the tiny chambers seen in the section as cell. Look here, the cell observed by Robert Hooke. Study of cell is an extensive branch of science which is rapidly developing nowadays, and this branch of science is known as cell biology. There were so many scientists behind the development of cell biology. They were made in the middle of 19th century. We can discuss and we can study what are the contributions of these scientists and who are the same famous personalities. Observe the milestones in the history of cell biology. Robert Brown. Look at the scientist Robert Brown. What was his contribution? He discovered the center of the cell and named it the nucleus. He discovered the center of the cell and named it the nucleus. And he was lived in the year 1831. Then after that, another scientist who was called M.J. Sheldon. What was his contribution? He find out that the body of a plant is made up of cells, and he was lived in the year 1838. And next one, Theodor Schwann found out the body of animal body also made up of cells, and it was in 1839. Then after that, in 1858, another scientist called Rudolf Virchow, he observed the cells are dividing. He observed the dividing cells and find out that new cells are formed only from pre-existing cells. Means new cells are formed from the old cells only. Then, do you know what are the functions of the cell? Cell, we learned that cell is the structural and functional unit of all organism. In the first class itself, we discussed that. And what are the major functions performed by cell? Look at the illustration. First of all, cells are able to resist foreign particles which enter into the body. They are able to prevent the foreign particles like germs or other foreign particles. Then they synthesize biomolecules. Biomolecules are required for the physiological functions of the body. And the third function is they release energy from nutrients. That process takes place inside the cell. Energy is released from the nutrients, that is a complex chemical process. It takes place inside the cell. These are the three important functions of the cell. Then we discussed the so many contributions of different scientists in different period, and by summarizing the findings, and the scientists M.J. Sheldon and Theodore Schwann formulated the cell theory. Who has formulated the cell theory? M.J. Sheldon and Theodore Schwann. They discuss the findings, they summarizing the findings of other scientists, and it puts forward two main concepts. Which are they? The body of all organism is made up of cells. That we know that. The body of all organism is made up of cells, and cells are the structural and functional units of organisms. These are the two main concepts of cell theory. Then, now it is clear that the structure of a cell is very complex, because a cell is very small, it is microscopic, but it is able to perform so many functions. It is a basic unit of all living things. So it is a very complex enough to perform all these functions. Then we can study what is the structure of first of all we can study the structure of a plant cell. Look at the illustration, look at the figure. It shows a plant cell. What are the different parts of a plant cell? The main parts of the plant cells are, look at the center, there is a nucleus, it is surrounded by endoplasmic reticulum, and near to the endoplasmic reticulum mitochondria can be seen. Just below, vacuoles are present, ribosomes are present there, and all these organelles are immersed in a semi-liquid fluid that is called cytoplasm, and it is covered by two membranes. One is cell membrane, and around the cell membrane there is a cell wall. These are the important parts of the cell, and each part has its own specific duty, specific function. They help to perform each physiological function inside the cell. And you are already familiar with some of the parts, maybe in the 7th class. Which are they? In the 7th class, you may learn about a cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. And other parts are new for you. So we can study more about the main parts of the plant cell. First of all substances inside the cell membrane together called protoplasm. All the substances inside the cell membrane is called protoplasm. And the protoplasm, once again we can divide it into cytoplasm plus nucleus. That means all factors required for life activities are present in the cytoplasm. These parts are called cell organelles. That means cell organelles are the specific parts seen in the cytoplasm to perform physiological functions, different functions of the body. For example, energy production, synthesis of protein molecule, and destruction of germs, like that. So, we can study in detail each part, its structure and its function. First of all, look at the structure. Do you know? Yes, this is new for you. This structure is called mitochondria. Mitochondria. Look there. It is a double layered membrane an outer membrane and an inner membrane. It contains DNA, and look here, its main function is, it is the powerhouse of the cell. It helps in the production and storage of energy. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Therefore, it helps in the production and storage of energy. And where we can see the mitochondria, it is almost present in all cells and abundantly, that means in numerous, they are seen in the cells of liver, brain, muscles. We know that these organs where energy requirement is very high. Then look at another figure. What is it? It is another cell organelle called endoplasmic reticulum. Seen here, you can see nucleus and the endoplasmic reticulum. Nucleus, from the nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum is extended to the cell membrane. It is the passage in the cell. What is the function? Conduction of materials inside the cell takes place through this organelle. Conduction of materials from the, so it is extended from nucleus to the cell membrane, plasma membrane, and therefore it is also known as cytoskeleton. That means it provides firmness and shape to the cell. That is about endoplasmic reticulum, and they are of two types. That means smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum means fine pores are they are seen attached to the ribosomes. Ribosomes are seen attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Then next organelle is called the ribosome. Look there. It's a large subunit and a small subunit is can seen here. What is the main function? It is a center of protein production, protein synthesis in the cell. How is it seen? It is seen either attached to the endoplasmic reticulum or freely float in the cytoplasm. Just above we discussed the structure of endoplasmic reticulum, and I told that they are of two types, rough and smooth. Rough means these ribosomes are seen attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, that is called a rough endoplasmic reticulum. So ribosome, these fine granule-like structures are called ribosomes. They are seen attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, and it also freely present in the cytoplasm. Ribosomes are also freely float in the cytoplasm, and the function is protein production, protein synthesis. Then look at the third next organelle, the center of the cell, and a big organelle, can you see? Yes, which is that? That is called the vacuole. Vacuole. It stores water, salts and excretory materials. Can you see? It is covered by a characteristic membrane called the tonoplast. It is bigger than nucleus. It is covered by a characteristic membrane called the tonoplast, and it is a cell structure. So here you can see the vacuole, nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, like that. Then the next one, Golgi complex. Can you see the Golgi complex? Here it is seen in red color. That structure is called the Golgi complex. What is the function? It collects the cell secretions like enzyme, hormone, mucus, they are collected by the Golgi complex. They are present in small vesicles. They are abundantly present in glandular cells. Glandular cells. Look here. Golgi complex. Abundantly present in glandular cells. Now, are you clear? The important organelles of the plant cell. Once again, go through the organelles. Last one to the first one. Golgi bodies, vacuole, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria. Then we already discussed that the nucleus you can see there, and the cell membrane and cell wall, cytoplasm you already learned in the previous classes. That is about the structure of a plant cell.
Are you understand the topic we discussed today? Once again, all of you go through the topic and prepare notes about the cell organelles and also draw a neat diagram of plant cell in your notebook. Thank you.